Okay, guys, thanks so much for joining us. I am going to try to keep this as brief as possible because I can get a little long-winded whenever I start talking about skin and all the things because it's just what I love to do. I am Dawn Jett. I am the co-founder of Spruce Micro, and I am behind every single protocol that's created every single result that you see on our Instagram portfolio. I was a middle school English teacher. And back when I'm 53 now, that tasted like vinegar coming out, but I'm 53 now. And when I was 32, I had a laser treatment done for anti-aging reasons. I had no previous pigment. I really had no reason to get it done except that, we all want all the things. And the laser caused deep dermal pigment all over my face, all over my forehead. I had a big wave of pigment all across my forehead. All over my cheeks, I had hyper and hypo pigment. I had a line of demarcation on my chin. I had pigment all over my neck because I did a laser all over my face and neck. And for 3 years, I was oversold, underpromised, lied to over and over again. And I still lied to, maybe just like people just didn't know, probably is part of it too. But no one could give me the results that I wanted. And there's like literally nothing I wouldn't have done to get rid of the pigment. It was so dark. It was like purple black. It was really, really dark. It was life changing. Went through a deep depression. And then just finally, after about 3 years, I learned how to fix my pigment myself. And years later, I was almost 40. I went to SC school and opened up my own business. I've never worked for anyone else because I knew what this industry was about. I knew that it was going to be all about me pushing what is more profit driven for people. And I knew that I never ever could do that. Our business is based on what works, and I only offer what works. And all the results that you see, I would have to say, we do have, of course, we have a local business where people come in and get microneedled and get skincare protocols. But the majority of the results that you see on our Instagram portfolio and all over the internet are from virtual patients. Mainly because my in-clinic patients have been with me for so long and I really sucked at taking pictures and I didn't always take pictures. So the majority of what you see is from virtual only. But on here tonight, I have one in-clinic patient and one virtual, just so you can hear stories from both of them. This is totally unscripted. They were told before we got on, like we basically, they know nothing what to like, so they're just telling their story. I want them to tell the good, bad, and the ugly. And because I really want people to know what it's like before you get started. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time and money if you don't, know what you're in for. What we do works 100% of the time. We have never, ever, ever had a case where a patient didn't get freaking amazing results if they followed our protocols every single time. And our program is very, very different. Basically, quick rundown. We only work with members because I want some sort of commitment, because if you're not, like, it's not a quick fix. It is a commitment. It is, like you've got to go through the process. So I don't want to waste anyone's time. There is no contract. You can cancel at any time. And then in that, you'll have access to our telemedicine portal, and which is full of education, and you basically get new regimens as your skin changes. And so you'll have your check-ins, which is all done through a form. You submit photos. Our team then comes up with protocols specifically for your skin. And then your next your next check-in is scheduled. And then we look at your skin again. As it's changed, we change your protocol. Basically, that's how it's worked. So it's very, very different than the typical like online things that you see, where it's just like, you get a script of HQ, hydroquinone or tretinoin or whatever, and it's on auto ship, and like, good luck. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like that at all. We guide you the entire way. You have access to our practitioners every single day to get any questions that you need answered. So we really, really walk you through it. So that's what we do in a nutshell. And if anyone else has any questions at the end, we are going to answer all of the questions that you ask. And so we'll start with Angela. Angela's just going to tell her story. She's who I refer to as Miss 22 Days because I will never, ever forget her message whenever she sent it to us. It's been 22 days and her pigment was absolutely gone. We are the same age. She's 53 as well. And I do believe that she looks younger than when she started 100%. So it's all yours, Angela. Take it away.
Thank you, Dawn. That's all credit to you. So I first started looking really hard for somebody to help me with my skin issues when I turned 40. A little backstory. I have lived with horrible skin a majority of my life. I spent my summers outside in the sun, because our parents didn't want us in the house. So, and that was never with sunscreen. We drank from the hoses. They didn't want us around. We were out from sun up till sundown. That was kind of how I grew up. We didn't have computers or cell phones or any of that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was in my 30s that I started seeing the consequences of being out in the sun with no protection whatsoever. And it wasn't until I was 40 that I really put a hard search into finding somebody that could help me with the twins that were on this side of the face and my triplets that were in various shapes and colors and a mask that was not attractive. I went to probably every esthetician, every dermatologist, and plastic surgeons to try to get a solution where when I was ready to sign on the line, that they wouldn't say, oh, and by the way, Angela, after we do this, which is going to cost X amount of dollars, which was never cheap, you're going to have to come back because it's going to come back on you. So I was like, there is something very wrong with having to spend this much money and not have it last.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is that I own a business where I didn't have the luxury of being away from my desk or not in front of a computer or in front of people.
Mm-hmm.
So having to heal from something like a laser, which I know a lot of women do, and they do look beautiful for a period of time, but you always see them. I see these stories where they're going back for the same type of procedure a few weeks to a few months later. That to me is not a solution. That's not helping your skin. It was not until I turned 50 that I found Dawn's business on Instagram. And so I thought, I'm going to go onto the Zoom call and I'm going to listen to what she says. And inside of 2 minutes, she had said, your skin is my skin. She said that your pigment is permanent. You're going to have pigment. We can put a protocol together, but you are going to have to work and maintain whatever system that we put together for you in order to maintain your result.
Mm-hmm.
The system that we put together for you will be guided. I will adjust. I'm going to burn your skin off. You're not going to like me. And before that call was even over, I knew that I was going to be one of Dawn's virtual patients. That was in October of 2023. Never looked back, never let anybody else touch my skin. If it is not protocoled by Dawn, by somebody within her business, it's not coming on my face. So in prior years, prior to working with Dawn, I did use some of the same products with various people. None of it was ever guided. No protocols were ever given to me. It was like, spend this much money, go home, put it on here, but that was it. There was no follow through. There was no guidance with it. It was, and even now, there are days where I have to refer back to my protocol because it's the multi-step process. And while I am in the maintenance phase and it's much easier now, there are still times where I have to refer back to that to make sure that I'm putting it in the right order. There was none of that before I worked with Spruce Micro.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, I started working with Spruce Micro. She got my skin nice and strengthened up. And even without any prescription or any correctives in that beginning phase with Dawn, my skin just took to it like water. It looked so much healthier, glowier. And while it wasn't taking care of the color at that point, I was more than thrilled with the results that I was getting in the first couple of weeks of using the skin strengthening protocol.
Mm-hmm.
When she told me that I was ready to move on to the next step, and yes, I love telling this story, but I hesitate because my skin reacts very different from like Rachel's skin or from, somebody else's skin over there.
Mm-hmm.
My skin, when I had told Dawn this before, I said the skin that I would wake up with in the morning once I started correctives to the skin that I would go to bed with after I did my protocol was very different. It reacted very well, turned over very rapidly. And yes, I have my pictures that start from day one to day 22, where I have pigment, hyperpigmentation, melasma on my face. And on day 22, it is virtually gone. And it was there. Like 22 days was all I had to do in working with Dawn. And I had searched for a hard decade trying to find somebody to help me with my skin, which just is still amazing to me to see how rapidly that all happened.
Mm-hmm.
So she kept me on that protocol. I can't remember the length of time, but when she said it was ready to move on to the maintenance, I was scared. I was like, no, I'm loving this. I want to keep my skin. I just thought it was going to go back to the way, to the way it was, but she has the knowledge. She knows exactly what these products are going to do to your skin.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that in the 3 years we've been working together, Dawn, I've had one skin cleanup with you. And I spend, from the time period, and now that my son is graduating, but I spend from June until at least the end of October outside photographing soccer.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in the heat. We have humid, hot weather here in Wisconsin. I'm always protected, always have a big saucer hat, but it's the heat that I worried about, where the color might pop up. And honestly, never has been an issue for me. So yes, now I'm in the maintenance phase, and yes, I will never trust anybody with my skin other than Dawn. She knows exactly what she's doing. I'm so grateful for her help. And so grateful that I found her at the time that I did. I wish I would have found her sooner. I think that's a common phrase that we all say. We wish we would have found her sooner. Just beyond expectation, the gift that she has given to me. So thank you, Dawn.
So you're very welcome. And so to clarify, when you say 22 days, I just want to clarify that you were on skin strengthening for about a month. And when
Yeah,
she talks about 22 days, it's when we started our corrective protocol.
right.
And so what you have to remember too is that no matter if it's me in Spruce, or even if you're getting a treatment inside of a clinic, it doesn't matter what it is. Nobody's changing the fact that you have damaged skin cells. Nobody's changing the fact that you have raging hormones. Nobody's changing the fact that we eat crap food every single day. And who in America doesn't have thyroid issues, and thyroid issues cause pigment? Like, there's so many things. But what we're doing is we're changing the skin cells' behavior. And so those products that we're using are tricking those skin cells into thinking and acting like they're younger. And so that is what's causing that change. Well, if you stop doing that, guess what? Your skin cells go right back to acting old and damaged. Like, I'm not going to change that. No one's going to change that except Jesus, and like, good luck on that miracle. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of miracles we need to ask Jesus for. Maybe it's not good again. But anyway, I just that's one thing that people don't understand. I get this question like all the time, like, how much is it? And I'm like, that's like asking a personal trainer, how much is it to get me in shape? Like, there's not, like, it's a protocol that is specific to you. And what Angela needs is not what Rachel needs, and what Rachel needs isn't what someone else needs. Like, everyone is very, very specific, and we take that check-in. And yes, it's as simple as filling out a form and submitting your photos. I'm very particular about how you submit your photos. Everyone knows that. Because I have to be able to see your skin the way that, like, just like you're in front of me, and even though you're across the world or whatever. We do have international patients. I don't take a lot of international patients because the products have to be available to them, and they're not always. But across the United States, we have people in every single state. I'm pretty positive we have people in every single state. And so whenever we are doing that, like, we're really looking at every single thing that you put on there. We're looking at your skin, we're looking how it changed, and then we're putting together a protocol. And that protocol is not just a list of products. It's not just like, here's step one, here's step two, here's step three. No, 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 no. No, I was an English teacher. You're getting a novel. There is nothing that you don't know. So it's going to be how to apply it, when to apply it, how to massage it in, what to expect, what is that product going to do. Like, an educated patient is a compliant patient. I firmly, firmly believe that, because if you understand the how and the why, you're gonna be more compliant. And then what makes it so easy, and I compare it to working out a lot, but what makes it so easy is that, unlike working out, and changing your diet and things, that tends to take a little bit of time. a good 6, 8 months sometimes, maybe even longer, just depending on genetics or whatever. But with your corrective protocol, even though I'm making you itch, sting, peel, burn, all those things, 22 days later, you had no pigment. So you start seeing that pigment, and that is common with every single patient that we have. If you're compliant within a couple of weeks of that corrective protocol, it might not be all gone, but it's going to be melting away, and you're going to see the difference. And so even though the skin is reacting, we're keeping that barrier strong, so strong the entire time. I'm so strict about that, about keeping your barrier strong, that it weirdly looks healthy, if that makes sense. So like even though you're having these reactions, the skin looks really healthy. It's glowy, and it just looks different, and it like has vitality. It's just, and it's more resilient. And even though you have had results 22 days later, your skin looks better today than it did at that 22 days. 100%.
Absolutely.
Every time I see you, and the same thing for every one of you guys. Like every time that I see you, like, okay, how can it get any more perfect than it already is? And it's just because your skin's getting stronger and stronger and stronger and more resilient. And when your skin's more resilient, it is resisting aggressors. And so that's what makes that pigment not come back. I also titrate and do maintenance a lot different than everybody else, a whole lot different than everybody else. But the longer that you're doing it, the more resilient it is. And those cleanups that Angela talked about, if it comes back, first of all, we're not letting it come back
Right.
bad. Like soon the first
Mhm.
time we're like, clean up. But that cleanup is like, I mean, sometimes a week. Like you see, okay, it's gone again. Let's go back to maintenance. So let's let Rachel talk. Tell me your story, Rachel. So Rachel
Hiya.
started, she's in clinic.
Yes.
Um, different, I'll just tell us real quick, difference between in clinic and virtual. Um, in clinic patients come and get microneedled, and they don't do online check-ins. They get their protocols whenever they come in. You 100% can get results either way. Our in-clinic patients, their protocols are different because they are receiving that microneedling treatment, so they're getting that cellular turnover just in a different way, and so the protocols aren't the same. They're quite different. So, but that's the difference. So, but both ways work. So go ahead.
Hi. Hi, my name's Rachel. I'll be 60 in July. I'm going to give you a little bit of background about myself. My mother was a big skin guru. She loves skin. Watch your skin. Don't go in the sun, all this stuff. Living in South Louisiana, we play in the sun every day.
Mhm.
So anyway, I was in my probably like 32, 33, and one of my good friends was a dermatologist, and she's like, "Oh, I got these new lasers coming in, Rachel. You want to be my skin guru?" Oh yeah, yeah. I'll do
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
So I had shots all in my face. I had to have somebody bring me and pick me up. But what happened was those lasers. My skin was pretty good at that point in time, but laser year after year, I started getting pigment from the laser. So I ended up having to stop the lasers. My skin looked really, really bad. Um, and I remember my mother saying, one day you're going to regret getting those lasers. Your skin looks horrible, you know? I'm like, okay. Well, she was right. So I saw Dawn's post on Facebook, and I was like, oh my God, this is unbelievable. And this is in Broussard, Louisiana. This is where I'm from. Around from where I'm
Mhm.
from. I do drive an hour and a half to go see her, but it's it's all worth it to me. When I started with Dawn, um, I remember going and I was like, wow. And I just saw people coming out with this beautiful skin. I was like, oh, okay, so this really is real. And
Mhm.
so she did my first microneedling, and I absolutely loved it. And she called me because at that point in time, you would call us to tell us about, our protocols.
Mhm.
So I had everything written down. I'm like, oh my, this is a lot. This is a lot. But I was like, you know what? The way I looked at it is, it costs you more to have bad skin than it does, and cover up bad skin than it does to have
Yes.
good skin. So
Mhm.
I was like, if I'm buying base, which I'm not big on foundation. I don't like a lot of makeup. I think natural to me is the most prettiest skin you can ever
Mhm.
imagine having. And I was like, if I'm having to pay this kind of money, it's all worth what I'm going to put into this. So
Mhm.
I did it. And normally you microneedle every month in house. Well, I couldn't. I had red skin. And people were like, look what you do to your skin. You lasering again? I'm like, no, this is somebody who knows how to take certain skincare. She puts it together and it works and it creates. And I never thought in my wildest dreams, just skincare could create beautiful skin and
Mhm.
break down melasma. And it did all that. It did
Mhm.
that plus more. No longer have to buy expensive makeup to cover up my wrinkles, anything. One thing I will say is I used to get Botox. I don't have to get Botox anymore. It's been that nice.
Mhm.
I totally, everywhere I go, everybody's always, God, you got the most prettiest skin. Oh, your skin's so pretty. What do you do? And the first thing they ask, how much does it cost? And I'm like, let me tell you something. Every program, every skin is individualized.
Yeah.
So it goes according to your skin and what you need.
Mhm.
All of our DNA is different. So
Mhm.
same with skin. So I love Dawn. I love her staff. I could go on and on and on and on. I just love it. I love it. Love it,
And
love it, love it.
Rachel's skin was very sensitized whenever she came in. And so like the one thing that she thought was that she could never like use the retinoids or use the active ingredients. I'm sorry, my kitten. We're traveling, and my kitten, my little three-legged rescue kitten, is like jumping all over. And so that's a misconception everybody has, because once you make that skin barrier strong, you absolutely can, and you have to have the actives to do it. Like so, the microneedling, of course, is causing cellular turnover, which that's a that's a plus for that. But you've got to have those actives that cause that cellular
Mhm.
rejuvenation. And if you take care of that barrier and you continue to take care of the barrier and you're guided the right way, you absolutely can use tretinoin 100%. I've never had a patient that couldn't use tretinoin and any other active ingredients that we have. But your skin was very,
Oh,
very sensitized. And like, I mean, it's just so strong and healthy now. It looks
oh, it's
absolutely
unbelievable.
incredible, incredible. And so, yeah, I guess we can take some questions. Let me see. Let's see. Do we have any questions? Okay, I'll always get the questions. What I will, let's see. Um, okay, this is somebody, this is one of our patients. Oh, I know this is a very lucky person to know you. Now I'm 2 years in, and yes, you absolutely have incredible skin. Actually, Katarina, you're one of the ones I use on my webinars whenever I do. Your skin looks absolutely incredible. Um, So I guess what I'll do is I'll kind of go through like how our program works, just because that is a very common question. I mean, like all day long, I get questions like, how much does this cost? What's the product? Can I just order the product? Can I like, no, we don't even sell. So like, just to kind of give you an idea, we are top USA accounts for the products that we sell, the companies that we work with for our skincare. So we work with Abaji Medical, we work with Hydrinity, and we work with Entourage, and also we have our own RX now as well. And so we don't even sell to the public. So I used to, but I don't anymore. And the reason that I don't is because you can get these products for the most part anywhere. Like, so like if you're just buying these products from me, you're going to expect the results that you see on Instagram, right? If you buy these products from me. And these products are sold everywhere, but you don't see my results. You have to have the guidance. And so
Mhm.
I guess about 2 years ago, we stopped selling to the general public. So that is how much product we sell, just to tell you like how many patients we have and how successful we are with this, with the protocols. That to be on that level with these major companies is a big deal, that we don't even sell to the public. And so we do membership is $57 a month. And with that membership, you have access to we now have custom software. Like Rachel was saying back in the day, like we did not have all the tech we have today. Like I had no idea this virtual thing would ever work out the way that it did, but it blew up very fast. So we had to have custom.
I think Dawn froze a little bit there. Let's give her
I
a
know.
few seconds. It might be her connection from whatever hotel she's at. So let's just give her a couple minutes.
I guess my internet is sucking. I'm in a hotel room. So anyway, so what you get also, I don't know where I got cut out, but you get, I hope my other one recorded. I have no idea. Whoops. We shall see. We shall see. I suck at technology. So in your portal, you have all the education, every single product that we recommend. There's like the Dawn version. It's not just like what's on the website for the providers. I don't follow the providers, not the providers, our partners like Abaji's or Hydronity's protocols. I follow my own. So you have all of that. So you get what's called the Dawn version. You have your check-ins that are scheduled every 4 to 8 weeks, depending on what protocol you're on and how long that I want you to be on it. And so you submit your check-in form, you submit your photos, and then the doctor and our practitioners will review your case, give you your customized skincare protocol. That's delivered to you. You can download it, print it, whatever. Your next check-in is scheduled, and that's how it works. And generally, you see, like, so the first protocol is skin strengthening, which is always. I don't care if you tell me, Dawn, I've been on skin strength. I've been on products for 18 years. I'm good. If your skin was healthy and good, you wouldn't have pigment. And you wouldn't be trying to join my membership. So I'm going to make sure that your skin is completely safe and healthy. I'm not willing to jeopardize that. So you're on that for about 4 weeks. Then you start correctives if you are ready. So like some people aren't ready to start correctives in a month. So it just depends if you're ready or not. And then, yeah, we start correctives and you start seeing results really, really quickly. And you're on correctives anywhere from a month to 4 months, sometimes a little bit longer, depending if some people stretched out, like if they have vacation protocols or whatever. And then we go on to maintenance. And then, yeah, so even during maintenance protocols, we're still adjusting those protocols every single, like at least every 4 to 8 weeks, just because what my skin needs now, or even this summer, is not what my skin needs next summer, because I'm aging, my skin's stronger, if I'm been on my protocols, all the things. And so they're continuously adjusted. It's not like a one size fits all. No, it's not cheap, but it works. And nothing's more expensive than products that don't work. And there's a whole lot of them out there that don't work. And so what I do know is that without a doubt in my mind, if you start with us and you're compliant, you're going to get results, and we're going to blow your mind, and you're going to wish you would have started much, much, much earlier. There's not one single person that we've created results for that regret this. Like it works. And so it's just a commitment. It's how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? That's
Dawn,
it.
it's a little addicting if you ask me.
Yeah, a little bit.
Agreed.
A
Absolutely
little
agree.
bit.
I
A
love
little
my
bit.
skin and I love reaction, because if you don't have reaction, you'll never have the final,
You won't have repair. Yeah.
no, no.
Yeah. And if anybody tells you you can go slow and steady and you don't have to have reactions, you need to run fast, because they're full of crap. Like it's just not gonna, like, you might see a little bit, but nothing like what we
Uh-uh.
post. And it's
Mm-mm.
it's just not even, you might as well just do it on your own, because you can get, if anybody just uses good skincare on a regular basis, you're gonna see a little bit of improvement. But you cannot expect the level of results that we produce. Every single person, every single before and after that you see on our portfolio are real patients, real people. The majority of them, there are some in-clinic patients that are on there that we take their pictures. But the majority of what you see is people taking their own photos in their bathroom, in their living room, whatever. They don't, and my rules are, don't use lights. Like, we don't use ring lights to take photos. We don't, like, none of that. It's like, I want to see your skin in the raw. Like, I want to know what it really, really looks like. So whenever you see it, that's what it really looks like. One other thing I want to say is that a lot of pictures you do see their skin's a little pink, and that's just because I generally am posting it like right in the middle of their correctives. I generally don't go and post it again when they're on maintenance, just because I've already posted their photo. And we have so many photos that I could post. Like, I've got hundreds that are just like waiting in the queue for me to post. And so it's just kind of luck of the draw of what I actually post. So yeah, that's it. Okay. Anything you ladies want to add?
Best decision I've ever made
Yes, and
for my skin.
and
Total.
really,
And it has nothing to do with vanity. My husband, I talked to him about this, and he's so sweet. He's like, Angela, I loved you before, the way your skin looked. You were always beautiful. And I always tell him, like, but Daryl, I wasn't happy with the way I looked. I was not happy with what I was seeing. I needed to be happy. And Dawn so far exceeded any expectation that I thought my skin would move. Like, this was not what I had expected for my skin. This skin is better than the skin I had in my 20s, in my teens, even, I
Yes.
can say. It garners me questions in the most random of places where women stop me, which is, Dawn, sometimes I feel like I'm a walking spokesperson for you. So I'm like, okay, how much time do you have? Do you want the short version? Do you have time for a coffee? What do you want to know? But so grateful that I found you. I'm so grateful for your guidance. And I hope to continue this partnership for a very long time. Thank you.
Yeah. And you were also in our Times Square billboards as well. Did you ever think you'd be in Times Square?
Never in a million years. Never. No. That's something I would have run away from in the past. Yes. Not me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
the biggest thing that I could tell people is just do it, because the longer you wait, the longer you're waiting on your skin to just not get well, actually it's going to get older, and then
Right.
not, and then it might take you a little longer to get that building up to, to start protocol. But
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you this commitment, and I worked for a company before, and it was a weight loss company, and people were, oh, I could do it, I can do it on myself, I could do it myself, because of the price, of course. But when they really made the decision to start coming in and allowing us to guide them and coming in to weigh in, they started losing weight and began maintenance. And the same thing I'll reflect on this skincare. You need to be able to have someone to help you and guide you, because if not, you would have done it a long time ago. Even
Mm-hmm.
with a lot of these companies out there, or a lot of these I shouldn't say that, but a lot of the terms out there that they sell all these products, but they don't tell you how to put them products together, or just follow the
Right.
directions in the back. That's not how this works.
Mm-hmm.
This is a totally different gig. This is how it works, because Dawn and her staff knows exactly what to put together to create beautiful skin for you.
Yeah. And my protocols are ever changing because I'm learning every single day too. It's just like I don't have just experience with just, skin types that are in that, typically see in South Louisiana. I work with skin types all over the
Right.
world. So I'm continuously learning and getting better at it too, because there's so many different conditions that, that are out there, skin tones, types, and just, habits and all the things that all make a difference. Somebody asked, will redness go away while being on correctives? So whenever you're on correctives, like typically the first couple of weeks are the worst, and then the skin's gonna cycle. So there's some days where you're like, oh, my skin looks really, really good. And then 4 days later, you're like, crap, I'm peeling again. But I don't think that we've ever had anybody miss work, or like there's no downtime. You don't have to stop your life. Nobody that is with us, and we've got thousands of members, like they're not stopping their life. Like that's not what's happening. And also you're always going to have occasions. Like there's always going to be a wedding or family photos or a birthday party, whatever it may be. There's always going to be something. But one thing that we have is that we have what I call vacation protocols. And so like whenever you do have an occasion, we walk you through how to start, making your, basically kind of watering, I hate to say watering down, but basically that's what it is. We're watering down the protocol, and not stopping it. So we're continuously making those skin cells turn over just at a different level, so that it's a lot more tolerable whenever you are seeing all kind of people, and you can be in your photos and be on stage and whatever it is there's so many different situations.
Right.
But we walk you through that, the entire time. Which products you use are mostly on dark. Okay. So, I do get this question too, is it okay for people with darker skin?
Hmm.
Absolutely. I don't use heat. So that's the only thing that's going to affect, like, heat is what, I mean, heat caused pigment in my skin, and I have blonde hair and blue eyes. So it could happen to anybody. But heat would be like the main thing you worry about with the people on darker Fitzpatrick scale. What our protocols are affected more by skin type. So like people who have thicker or oilier skin, I'm going to treat differently than people who have drier skin. So like that's the difference. It's not, so it's literally every single fit 1 through 6, like every single body can be on these protocols. They're safe for every single person. So we welcome all skin types, all skin concerns, all and it's not just your pigment. Like pigment's my baby. That's what I love to do. It's personal to me, but it's not only your pigment that's going to change. It's going to be like the appearance of your pores. It's going to be fine lines and wrinkles, like Rachel was saying. She doesn't get Botox anymore. I would be lying to you, and so would she, if she just said that her wrinkles disappeared. That's not the case, but it softens them, and your skin is so healthy that you don't you don't feel like you see them as much. And like for me, yes, I do get Botox still, but I used to be like every 2.5 months, 52 units girl. Now it's a couple times a year, more like 30 units. And so it does, like, it lasts longer because the skin's stronger, and also you
Mm-hmm.
just don't feel like you need it as much. And so it's going to change literally everything about your skin. It's going to soften fine lines and wrinkles. It's going to change your texture. And honestly, that to me, texture makes the biggest difference.
I
I
agree.
agree.
Uh,
Yes, definitely.
And even and the majority of our patients don't wear makeup. Like I don't wear makeup. I joke, but I really did fail the ST test twice because of makeup. I really do suck at makeup, so don't ever ask me how to do your makeup. But I don't wear foundation at all. And the majority of our patients don't, just tinted sunscreen. So yeah, so I mean you
That's
can
the
wear
best.
makeup. Someone's asking how to sign up. So if you DM me, I'll send you the link, but I'll type it right here as well. Yeah, and as soon as you get started, like you'll pay your first month membership, and you have instant access to our portal. It's instantly going to give you it'll give you, you'll do your consent form. You'll upload your driver's license for identity purposes. It is a HIPAA compliant site. It is a full telemedicine site. And then you'll have instant access to everything. Your first check-in is going to be scheduled within 1 week. And your check-in dates, what you have to know, it's super convenient if you're going to be virtual because you have an entire week to fill out the form and to submit
Mhm.
your photos. And then our team the next week starts, delivering protocols. And you'll get your protocol typically within 5 days, usually faster than that, but within 5 days typically is when you get your first protocol. And then your next check-in is scheduled, and you'll have access to the entire portal. You'll also have access to our private Facebook group as well. So, all right. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. If you have any other questions, like feel free to DM me. And then also you can also text our text line. We have an amazing, amazing, amazing customer support team that can answer all of your questions. And if they can't answer them directly, they will relay them to the team, which will get you your answers. And so that number, which is on our Instagram, I'll type it here, is 504-291-6322. Of course, it is nighttime right now, so I'm not going to answer right now, but they are super responsive. And